Hey guys, so yesterday was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. It started out really good. I finally found a cowboy hat. We were doing a long road trip day. I got to talk to my cousin, I got to talk to my parents. Things were going well, school went well, and then at the end of the day when we were like an hour probably from our destination, it went bad. So we ran out of gas. That has never happened before. I'm gonna let Jason explain what happened.
There's no gas stations from El Paso to Carlsbad. They are, but they're I don't know, more than 100 miles. We last filled up. We had 3/4 of a tank of fuel to go. It looked like it was going to be okay. Then with the hills and I guess the calculations, we started through this mountain pass and we had 10 miles till empty. Anybody that knows anything about a diesel, you don't want to run it dry. The people did not speak English. Our Spanish isn't the best, so we had to wait and finally called Good Sam, and they had to send somebody out, but the first people were too far out. It took 4 hours. So moral of the story, double check your routes and just watch your fuel. Like I said, it's never happened. Wasn't worth pushing it and doing damage to our rig. So diesels won't run on fumes, and just watch your fuel.
Yeah, so I had found a place for us to get gas, but when we went to do it, they were doing road construction, and they had those what are they called, jersey walls? They had those jersey walls up, and so we couldn't make the turn. And then by the time we drove all the way through all the construction and got past all of that, then we used up the gas that we needed to turn around and go back to the gas station. So luckily we found a rest area, so we were safe. We were under our lights. We had everything that we need. We tow and haul with us, but it was just a huge inconvenience. Then the man finally came, put diesel in for us, and we drove to the nearest station, and then we get there and the card readers won't work. So we try to buy more diesel to get us the rest of the way to the campground, because they only gave us like 5 gallons, and card readers won't work. We can't pay cash because there's no one in the station. We tried every pump there, which if you're towing, it takes forever to turn around in tight spaces and go into the next pump. So we tried 3 of the 4 pumps that were there. None of the card readers worked. So then we were worried we were going to run out of gas again before we could find another station. Luckily, we were finally to Carlsbad, and there are fuel stations everywhere. But there was just a really long stretch and a mountain pass out in the middle of nowhere with no fuel, none. And we weren't expecting that. We were in El Paso. And we were going to Carlsbad. We knew those were 2 bigger cities in Texas and New Mexico, and we thought there would be fuel between, and there just wasn't. And so after we left that station, we found another station finally that did have gas. So happy ending. We're all safe. Everything's fine. But do we have gas in the tank today?
We have a full tank.
We have a full tank on our way to where we're going today, and we're gonna buy a storage system for the back of our truck that's gonna hold diesel, and we're gonna be able to pump from. We had to settle. Shirley wants me to tell you about our dinner last night, which was awful. We had gas station food because we had eaten up all the food that I had packed for the day. I wasn't planning for an extra 4 hours, and so we had nasty, I don't even know what they were, sausages, and it was terrible. Anyway, today is a better day.